Chat with Glendora, a show for living right. A chat with Glendora makes your day so bright. Words of inspiration, jokes to make you smile. Come relax and chat with Glendora for a while.
The Christian Science message is on radio under the Christian Science Sentinel radio watch. Are they on public access TV? I don't think they are. My very, very, very dear friend, who is the executive director of public access TV in in Boston, the Boston Neighborhood Network, charming Mr. Glenn Williams. I think I will ask him to help the Christian Science get a show on public access in Boston. I can always get them on through a chat with Glendora simply by interviewing them over the phone and using Snipe or using that other one, and then just sending it to Boston and playing it, and then they will be on. Let me talk to Jenny Sawyer at 2 o'clock. What time is it now?
The time is 1:08 p.m.
Okay, it'll be 50 minutes, 50 minutes. So Victoria, after you get your documentary down, the movie, and that'll be the third week of a 2-hour shows, will you go to the Grady Hearn half-hour shows that he made for you? Will you make sure that they are uploaded on the internet over your channel for Glendora called Glendora, How Did You Treat Others? And that'll make the fourth week. 4 half-hour shows will make a 1 2-hour show. And then will you make sure that the sleeves of those shows are all labeled and the numbers are correct? 13,301 up for April and May cablecasts. And then put down the shows on the SD2 card SD4 or 5 card that Glendora gave you Friday, and put those down after the Grady Hearn shows. And the Grady Hearn shows already have the disclaimers on them, I believe. Hudson TV and West Hartford TV and Staten Island TV. And we also need 2 or 3 copies of the Staten Island, because I think those are the archives that Madeline lost. Madeline, how would you feel if I lost one of your cats? Mr. Wayne Collins will be here at 2:30 p.m., folks, to give you this week's Bible passage, to keep you afloat, and to give you a word to stretch and strengthen your vocabularies. And the jokes are already done. He might even give you some new jokes. Tonight on Channel 6 at the 6:30 p.m., Glendora will be doing a commercial, a vegan commercial to help the animals, to urge people to eat vegan. We remember that when all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is what? How did you treat others? We remember that helping others is the only way to go. We remember that we are the universe. Who is? All of us are. We are the great, grand, wonderful universe. I think that's it. In love there is no east or west, in love no north or south, but one great fellowship of love throughout the whole wide earth. In Christ there is no east or west, in him no north or south, but one great fellowship of love throughout the whole wide earth. I am so thankful that you are with us, Wayne, to cheer us up. And what is that nice Bible passage?
The Bible passage today is from 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
This is my commandment to you. You love one another as I have loved you. Can you give us a lovely word to expand our vocabularies?
Yes, the vocabulary word today is amateur.
Good word.
And the definition is a person who does something for the pleasure of it rather than for the money. Non-professional.
Yes. Now, I have done a chat with Glendora for 49 years for the worth of it, for its message, and never for money. I've never been paid. In fact, you cannot be paid in public access. But I'm still not an amateur.
No.
In fact, it's very much a professional after doing it 49 years, isn't it?
Yes, I would say.
Yeah. Interesting word. Read it again, please.
Yes, amateur. A person who does something for the pleasure of it rather than for money. Well, you're doing it for the pleasure or to get a message, but certainly not for money.
Now, do you anything in your life that you did for the pleasure of it or for the good of somebody rather than for money?
Yes, when I would go to the nursing home and play the piano for a hymn sing.
That's right, and you did that right up until the state stopped people from going to nursing homes.
Yes,
You did that right up until, I would say, March or April of last year, almost a year ago.
Yes, that's right, I did.
Yeah, that was nice of you, Wayne.
Oh, thank you.
And I think you even went twice a week sometimes?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
One time I would do it on two separate floors.
But there again, Wayne, you did not really go as an amateur. You went as a professional. I think what we're putting up side by side is amateur versus altruist, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. We did the word altruist.
Because another definition for amateur could be someone who does something rather poorly. That could be amateur. Well, that was a rather amateur job.
Yes, right. I've heard that. Now, we have some jokes. Are we amateurs at this or are we altruists? Okay, let's go.
Okay. Attendance record.
Son, with your attendance record in school, you will never make President of the United States. However, you may make Congress.
Lawyers.
One lawyer wrote to another, Sir, I regret to inform you that our clients are in danger of agreement.
IRS.
Two secretaries at the IRS. One says, oh, look, here's another one. No dependents, $200,000 a year. And the other secretary says, take down his telephone number.
Secretary. Fastidious.
Very fastidious. Who else proofreads the Xerox copies?
Jury duty.
Jury duty, the woman said, I'm not going to serve on the jury. I do not believe in capital punishment. And the judge says, but madam, this case is about a husband who took the $10,000 that his wife gave him to go out and buy a new car. He took it to Atlantic City and lost it. And the woman says, okay, I'll serve. I could be wrong about capital punishment.
And those are our jokes for today.
Thank you, Mr. Wayne Collins.
Welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Looking from here to the bottom of this page.
Hold on just a second, honey. I have to find the wand. Okay. I think I found the wand, folks. Hi, folks. February 2nd, Groundhog Day. February 2nd. 2021. Did I ever tell you that one time a teenager said to me, I'm going to keep talking until I find out what it is I want to say. Do you know that little underneath the trunk of the toilet there's a valve? Well, and did you also know that underneath the toilet there's a metal pipe, a little tiny metal pipe about 1/4 of an inch, and a little tiny plastic pipe that comes into it? Well, that plastic pipe came out, and so all the water's coming out of the toilet and going all over the bathroom floor and into the hall floor. And I'm trying to reach that valve to shut the water off coming into the trunk. And because of the inability to move, I can't find it and I can't get a hold of it. And I'm calling desperately to Marie, and finally Marie answered, and she came out and she turned the valve off and she stopped the water from flowing all over the place. She's the hero of the day. Then she took a mop and mopped it all up. Now, I call Madeline, and Marie says, tell the owner about this. But the last time that this happened, Esther came along and she put the little plastic hose back onto the metal hose, and it's lasted until now. And then the plumber came, and he saw that it was done, and he went away and he did nothing. And then this is when the owner got all excited and said that Glendora had to have 24/7 or go to a nursing home or something like that. And that's when we built up this whole staff so that Glendora wasn't alone. And that satiated the owner. So right now, I don't think I want to call the owner and tell her that this has happened again, because we don't want to go through that again. Marie says, call the owner. Oh no. The last time that happened, 2 or 3 months ago, is when the owner freaked out and said that Glendora had to have 24/7 care or she had to go to assisted living. And we have solved that. It took a long time, and you know the history of that. So what is the solution? At least we have a commode. But then what? And we could return the hose to the pipe. And I asked Marie to do that, and she didn't want to do that, and she went back into her room. And Madeline has a sick doggie. Oh, wait a second. We can't, okay. We have a doggy who needs a whole lot of love. He's coughing all the time. Jasper dog. I think the solution, but it's like 5 inches of snow out there. Isn't it nice that these things have to happen in tandem? The solution is to ask Esther Raphael if she thinks we should put the plastic tape back onto the metal tape and then go get some plumber's black tape and secure it and see if she thinks that will last. And if it will last, we won't tell the owner because we don't want the owner to go frenetic again. We do have a commode that we need, but then what? And my people live way up on a hill. My helpers live way up on a mountain, and they're snowed in, and they can't come until Cliff plows them out, and we don't know what time today that will be. And little Jasper cat is coughing, and he's been coughing for all day yesterday and all night long. Cough, 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 cough. That's terrible. And Madeline took him to the vet, and I would like to get a hold of the Christian Science practitioner and see if they can heal that cough right away. But Madeline is asleep and can't do that, and she has a telephone number. Oh, we have to have a Bible passage. Let's move on. We're due now for a Bible passage. Be ye therefore blameless and harmless, and as a child of God without rebuke. And we need a word. Just keep moving on here. A word. An amanuensis. You know what an amanuensis is? It's a person who keeps the record, who writes it down. Person who writes it down. From the Latin word manual, hand. We do need a hymn. Breathe on us breath of God, till we are wholly thine, until this earthly part of us glows with thy spirit divine. Poor little Jasper dog. He's scared, he's frightened, he's shaking. Send him love, send him love. We've got to take care of him. Well, only one I can think of right now is, why do people laugh up their sleeves? That's where the funny bone is. And isn't the funny bone in the leg? It's the humerus, isn't it? Daddy, can I join the army? Of course not. You're only an infant. I could be in the infantry. Gloria was very, very helpful in connecting Glendora with Medicaid, Social Services, Rensselaer County, to find out about that spend down. There's a $1,700. Glendora earns more than the Medicare minimum, $1,700. So somehow or other, Glendora has to have bills of $1,700 to make her poor enough to have Medicare. I think that's what it is. And Kelly was a tremendous help on that and very cordial over at the Medicaid office, Rensselaer County. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you, thank you, Gloria. Darlene brought Glendora the most delicious sweet potato, and she put, I can't believe it's not butter on it, and it tasted so good. And she also brought a delectable apple Waldorf salad with raisins and lettuce. And she did most of the in-mail for Glendora, and the Social Security check came on the 1st of February instead of the 3rd. Well, that's nice. Jennifer at Cablevision LTs let us get by handing in the Torrington, Connecticut application on Rockland County paper. And she has scheduled Rockland County, and thank you, Lewis, for filling out the application so well and the agreement. That's Lewis Conway. And we are all scheduled on that. But what about the 2-hour show? Okay, that's another project. And Doug makes sure the show is on in our Torrington, Connecticut anyway. So thank you for that. I would like to thank Sarah from Rensselaer County Home Care. She called up and asked my Social Security, and I gave it to her, even though Social Security says don't give your Social Security number to anybody. And then she asked who was my primary physician, and I said I have none, but as of February 9th, I would have Dr. Bowen. And she says, oh, very good. She says, you go to Dr. Bowen and then you call me and then I'll send him all the papers. I said, do you have any idea how long this will take? She says, oh, no, we never know. And I said, 10 years? And she's still laughing. We are the universe. We are the universe. All of us together. We are one. There's something going on like this, folks. Put in an A, a box, and we'll call it A. We don't know quite what that box is. But we know right after A comes thought. And we've thought for a long time that thought is electromagnetic radiation at a tremendously high frequency and a tremendously tiny wavelength at the speed of light. C equals lambda F. Now from thought to electromagnetic radiation, somehow or other electromagnetic radiation creates matter. It creates maybe another box that we don't know and another box that we don't know, but then it creates the elementary particles that make up electrons, protons, neutrons. Then we have atoms. A very important atom, hydrogen. Hydrogen. the basic item out of which all the others are made by combinations. Carbon, 12 of them. Oxygen, 8 of them. Helium, 2 of them. And these, the periodic table of elements, all of the elements, over 100 combinations of hydrogen. Okay. They get together and they make compounds. 2 hydrogens in an atom make what? Water. Carbon and an oxygen make what? A couple of oxygens makes carbon dioxide. Somehow or other, they get together with water and they make a thing called protoplasm, and that has life. Somehow, anyway, the new concept introduced here is that first there's this maybe unknown, and then comes thought, then comes electromagnetic waves, and then comes matter, the elementary particles that make protons and electrons. Then we have the atoms, and the atoms make the compounds, and that's matter. And then we have life over here in the other column. Somehow that's what it is. What do you think? Am I supposed to do the healing? And I'm supposed to bring the eyesight back? Am I supposed to get rid of the leg difficulty and bring it back to normal walking? Am I supposed to do it, or is the practitioner supposed to do it? I can't do it. I've been trying since August, 6 months, and I can't do it. That's very un-Christian Science to say that, but I can't do it. And I think I'm going to tell the practitioner this morning, or this afternoon, that practitioner, you do it. I'm paying you to do it. My practitioner bill is $180 already with the new practitioner. This is the third one. You do it. I can't do it. So you wanted to know what happened yesterday? Well, Pat said you should call the owner. And I said, no, I don't want to call the owner, because the last time this happened, the last time I called the owner, 2 or 3 days later, she said, the owner, that you will have to have 24-hour, somebody with you 24 hours, or you'll have to go to assisted living. Well, we got over that hump. We did a good job on that.